I've been making a habit of taking a walk around the trailer park every evening just to work out the bugs, tire myself out, get some fresh air. And I thought I would try something new. So this is a new series of vlogs called Walk Around the Trailer Park. I came up with the name myself. I just opened my mouth and out it came. Walk Around the Trailer Park. I was gonna title it something more related to exactly where the trailer. I was gonna try something more closely related to where the trailer park is, but recent events in this past year have taught me to be a lot more careful about what information I share online. And I know you can't be 100% careful, but you don't have to be 100% stupid either. So here we go. So I love my nibblings to death, but to my death, not theirs. Just don't take that out of context. I love my nibblings, okay? But I'm going to be really honest up front. All of the children in my family, and that includes all of my brother's kids, all of my husband's nephews and nieces, and great nephews and nieces. I love those kids to bits, and at the same time, they remind me of why I never want kids of my own. So, in many ways, children are the most effective form of birth control ever. Like, if the GOP knew what children do to my desire to have children, they would ban children. Oh, crud. I think I just realized the hidden truth behind their agenda. Anyway, well, not gonna elaborate on that. No, I love my nibblings to bits. I love spending time with them. I love watching them discover stuff for the first time. You know, I like watching them see things. You know, it was the most magical moment for me was getting to see Niagara Falls with them, because I had never seen Niagara Falls before. So we were discovering that together. And it's also nice being able to watch them discover things that I've always known about, you know. I guess where I start to get annoyed with them is, and I realize up front that I was probably like this as a kid too. So the three boys, they just so obviously the youngest baby is almost 2 years old, and you know, obviously he's going to require a lot more attention, especially if at any point during a visit I'm responsible for their safety. Like, I'm not a babysitter, but if I'm up at their house, right, and my husband is talking to his niece and I'm playing with the kids, I'm the adult that's responsible for their safety. And obviously if the youngest one is running around picking stuff up in danger, like if there's any chance that he might hurt himself in any way, shape, or form, I have to be vigilant and I have to be able to react if he's about to do anything that could get himself hurt. Look, your house could be the safest place on earth with no avenue of injury, and a kid will still find a way to get himself hurt in it. I've adopted a motto these past few years, and it's that you can only prepare for 99% of all occurrences. You cannot prepare for the 1%, and it's the 1% that always gets you. All you can do with that 1% is react to it, and so, or prevent it. And so in the case of the youngest nibbling, I am extra cautious when he's in the room, or when I'm the only adult who's capable of preventing an injury or reacting to an incident. Obviously, he's gonna get some of my attention. Now, the middle child, he just turned 5 years old, and he wants my attention full tilt. Like, when I'm over at the house, he wants me to play with him 100%. Because at the age of 5, it's not possible for him to, all right, I'm not saying a 5-year-old can't understand this, but at his age, at his individual mindset, is that when I'm there, I have to be 100% focused on him, playing with him, paying attention to him. If I start to pay attention to his younger brother, he feels like I'm ignoring him. And I'm not trying to discount his feelings. I'm not trying to dismiss how he feels. He has a right to feel the way he feels. I'm not dissing on that at all. But it does add a layer of stress. The other day, for example, I tried to get the oldest of the three boys to play with the youngest brother for a little while, just so I could focus on playing with the middle child, just so I could give him my attention. But of course, the oldest one didn't want to do that. He was more interested in getting my husband's attention and being the same. You know, when I was the oldest child, I liked it when we had visitors as well. I mean, I am the oldest child now. My point is, when I was a kid, I certainly liked it when I had the attention of visitors. So I understand my grandnephew's mentality as well. And I didn't want to rope him in to be the interim babysitter. I just needed his help just so I could play with, I don't know, I think you know what I'm getting at this point. It's just really, it can be really hard to divide my attention between the three. And I love them, like I said, I love them to bits. I wish I could split myself into three people. I wish I could do a Naruto shadow clone thing where each shadow clone can play with the kid that I can't focus on at that time. But so today we're playing Fortnite. Now the oldest one has kind of moved on to Minecraft and some other games, but the middle child still loves Fortnite. Now look, Fortnite, as far as FPS games go, is probably the safest game for kids, and it's a lot easier to control who communicates with your child through Fortnite. My advice is don't ever let them use the voice chat, which is what their mother forbids them from using the voice chat aspect of it. So when they're playing with other people on Fortnite, they're really just playing the game, and nobody has a clue that they're playing with kids. But obviously it's one of the ways we play together. I have my Switch, they have their Switch, and when we see each other on, we join parties. My middle grandnibbling likes playing in squads, but he doesn't like to stick with the squad. Today, I actually had the two boys on for the first time in a long time, and the middle one gets off the bus early in the game, so I get off thinking that the oldest one is going to be off with us. My whole thing is I always try to stay close to the boys when we're playing, and the oldest one was in a completely different part of the map, and he ended up getting downed first, but we were on another side of the map, and as fast as I tried to get to him, I wasn't able to get to him in time. And I can only imagine, I wasn't at their house, but I can only imagine that the oldest one felt hurt and left out, that he probably felt like we were ignoring him. Which, well, now he knows how I feel when they were doing it to me. But I'm not the kind of person who tries to get back at people, especially young children who don't understand concepts like fair play yet. I mean, they're learning, but they're not quite there. And look, when I was 8 years old, I didn't understand it either. When I was 8 years old, if I got a new video game, I kept playing it, and I didn't care if my brothers wanted to play. So I'm perfectly aware of how selfish 7 and 8 year olds can be. But it can be frustrating trying to play with both of them when they don't want to cooperate. How you doing? And I play with them for a little while, but eventually I get tired and I need a break. And then later on I hear, "Oh, you were mean. You left the lobby. You keep going into the lobby. You're so mean." I'm like, how am I being mean? Because everything you do with kids is mean. I don't know if you know this or not, but it doesn't matter what your intentions are. It doesn't matter, "Oh, you're so mean." I mean, their mother probably tells them every time, "Oh, he probably has to get ready for work, or he's getting ready for dinner, blah, blah, blah." So it's not like she's enforcing that. But of course, again, children have minds of their own. So no matter what you tell them, they're going to think whatever they think. And if they're upset, suddenly you're mean. But it's stuff like that makes me glad I don't have my own kids. And this past few years since I've been married, and since I've been a part of their life and a part of their upbringing, in a sense, it takes a village. It also gives me a lot of respect for my brothers who do have their own children. It gives me I don't have my own kids, but I understand what people with kids are going through. Just because if I can barely handle it when I'm not even their actual live-in parent, I can't imagine how people do this 24/7 for 20 years. But I don't know. So what else? Yeah, that's about it. And I realized that I probably lost a lot of people who have no idea what Fortnite is or what it's all about. But, whatever. I like to assume there's trade-off in subjects. Like, you may not understand Fortnite, but you've probably, if you have children or if you understand what it's like to work with children, you probably recognize that frustration. So, you know, like I said, there's a bit of trade-off. Let's see what else. I think that's about it. I just had to get that off my chest today. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what you thought of this vlog. I'm probably going to keep doing this for a while just to see what kind of response I get. I'm doing my level best not to annoy my neighbors, trying to keep my voice low, trying not to point the camera at anybody. But, you know, they're going to think whatever they think anyway, so I can't control, and just like kids have a mind of their own, my neighbors have a mind of their own as well. So no matter what I do, I can't stop what they think, and I can't stop what they interpret or misinterpret. First shift of my new job starts tomorrow, and it's been a while since I've worked an evening shift, so I'm just hoping that I haven't lost the knack. I'm hoping that I pick things up very quickly. It's a smaller store than where I worked, so I'm hoping I figure things out a lot quicker than I did with the older store. And more to the point, what I really want. So, okay, well, here's the subject. Like, I know you can't expect your coworkers to all like you, and you really should not go to the workplace with the expectation that you're going to make friends there. That should never be your goal. But obviously, a workplace goes a lot more smoothly if you get along with people, if you care about your coworkers, and it would be nice if they returned the favor and cared about you. I don't think it's an unrealistic request or an unrealistic wish to be in a workplace where the management and your coworkers care if you live or die. I am going to have to be a lot more careful with how I approach my coworkers. I've got to find that balance between being friendly and being guarded. And I have no idea where that balance is. Just like playing Fortnite with the nibblings, there are going to be times when, I'll be on a team and one member of that team will be on a completely different side of the store with absolutely no clue what everybody else is doing. And in many ways, working in retail is a lot like Fortnite. I'm not even going to begin to try to justify that, whatever, or try to rationalize it. But I am seeing a lot of exchange. I'm seeing a lot of parallels. It's amazing how many things we do in our lives and we're like, oh, that's completely different than what everybody else does. But no, there's a lot of trade-offs. There's a lot of similarities. So yeah, but beyond that, I'm almost at the end of my walk. So I want to thank you once again for watching all the way to the end. Thank you for hearing me rant. I hope it was not tiresome. I know at some point I'm going to have to start reacting to things in the media if I want a lot of attention. But to be perfectly frank, I just don't give too much of a rat's ass about what's going on in the world right now. I mean, yes, things affect me, but at the same time, I've got to keep living my life, and I don't know. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Be safe. Treat each other with dignity and respect.